Process number 7, evaluating dreams. When to use this process? When you want to understand why you're having a particular dream, or when you want to understand what your vibrational point of attraction is and what you're in the process of creating even before it manifests into your real life experience. Current emotional set point range. This process of evaluating dreams will be of the most value to you when your emotional set point is ranging somewhere between number 1, joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, or appreciation, and number 22, fear, grief, depression, despair, or powerlessness. In other words, no matter how you're feeling, this process will be of value. What you think about and what manifests in your life experience is always a vibrational match. And in the same way, what you think about and what manifests in your dream state is always a vibrational match. Your dominant thoughts always match your manifestations, and so once you understand the absolute correlations between your thoughts, how you feel, and what is manifesting in your experience, you can then accurately predict everything that will come into your life. It's nice when you're aware of your thoughts and therefore aware of what you're creating before it manifests, but it's also of value, after something has manifested, to then acknowledge the thoughts that led up to it. In other words, you can make the conscious association between your thoughts, feelings, and manifestations before the manifestation occurs or after the manifestation occurs. Both are helpful. When you dream about something, it's always a match to the thoughts you've been thinking. And so since each of your dreams is, in fact, your creation, it's not possible for you to dream about anything that you've not created through your thoughts. The fact that it has now manifested in your dream state means that you have given it a significant amount of thought. The essence of the way you feel about the things you think about most will eventually manifest in your real life experience, but it takes even less time and attention for it to manifest in your dream state. And for that reason, your dreams can be of immense value in helping you understand what you are in the process of creating in your awake state. If you are in the process of creating something you do not want, it would be easier to change the direction of your thoughts before it manifests than waiting to change your thoughts after it manifests. The process for evaluating dreams is as follows. As you go to bed, consciously acknowledge that your dreams accurately reflect your thoughts. Say to yourself, "It is my intention to rest well and to awaken refreshed, and if there's anything important for me to recall from my dream state, I will recall it when I awaken." Then, as you awaken, before you get up, lie there for a few minutes and ask yourself, "Do I remember anything from my dream state?" Although you may be able to recall different aspects of your dream state throughout the day, usually the best chance of recalling your dreams is when you first awaken. And as you begin to recall one of your dreams, relax and try to remember how you felt during the dream sequence. For recalling your emotions will give even more important information than recalling the details of your dream. You must give significant attention to any subject for it to become powerful enough to manifest in your experience, and quite a bit of attention must also be given to a subject before it will begin to show up in your dream state. For that reason, your more meaningful dreams are always accompanied by strong emotion. The emotion may feel good or bad, but it will always be strong enough so that you will recognize the feeling. How did I feel as that was happening? If you have awakened from a very good-feeling dream, you can be confident that your dominant thoughts surrounding that subject are pointed toward manifestations that you do want. When you awaken from a bad-feeling dream, know that your dominant thoughts are in the process of attracting something that you do not want. However, no matter where you stand in terms of what is manifesting in your experience, you can always make a new decision and change the manifestation to something that is even more pleasing. It is truly more fulfilling to consciously create increasingly satisfying scenarios in your life experience than it is for you to create by default things that you really do not want, and then try to turn those around to things that you do want. For once something does manifest, then you have all that observing of the unwanted thing to deal with, as well as the habit of thought that brought it about to begin with. As soon as you begin to understand that your dreams are wonderful reflections of how you really feel and what you are creating, then you can begin to deliberately change your thoughts in order to positively affect your dreams. And as soon as you receive the positive dream, you will know that you're on the path of a more positive, real-life manifestation. If you awaken from a bad dream, do not worry. Instead, feel appreciation for your awareness that you have been giving attention to something you do not want. In the same way you appreciate the sensors in your skin that alert you to the fact that you're approaching something that is very hot, appreciate that your emotions have made you aware that your thoughts are approaching something unwanted. Now, You do not create while you're dreaming. Your dream is a manifestation of what you've been thinking during your awake state. However, once you are awake and you're now thinking about or discussing your dream, those thoughts do affect your future creations. It is helpful to keep a written record of your dreams, but it's not necessary to be extremely elaborate in the recording of the details. Record the general setting where the dream took place, the basic people who appeared in the dream, what you were doing in the dream, what others were doing in the dream, and, most significantly, how you felt within the dream. You may discover more than one emotion within the dream, but the emotions will not be very different from each other. For example, you would not feel both ecstatic and angry in the same dream, because the vibrational frequency of those two emotions is too extreme to show up in the same dream. So, once you've identified how the dream felt, if you want to do something about changing or enhancing that emotion, you may want to move on to process number 22, moving up the emotional scale. Abraham, speak to us more about evaluating dreams. Dreams can give you a wonderful insight into your current vibrational state of being. Your recall of a dream is your physical translation of blocks of non-physical thought that you have interacted with in your dream state. When you sleep, you reemerge back into the energy of the non-physical, and you have conversations, not conversations in words, but vibrational ones. Then, as you're awakening, you translate that block of thought back into its physical equivalent. Sometimes, when you've wanted something for a long while, but you do not see any way for it to really happen, you'll experience a dream where it does happen, and then, in the pleasant recollection of the dream, you soften your vibration of resistance, and then your desire can be fulfilled. Many years ago, Jerry and Esther were mutually involved in a business enterprise, but they were not romantically involved. They felt appreciation for one another, but there was not a romantic feeling because neither of them would allow themselves to have that. Each of them, due to circumstances and beliefs, had not even tiptoed into that arena of thought relative to one another. One night, Esther dreamed that Jerry, she saw him clearly, kneeled by her bedside and kissed her on the cheek, very much like the fairy tales that she had heard as a child. And when he touched her on the face with his lips, an extraordinary feeling began surging through her. A feeling of exhilaration, a feeling that all was well, a feeling beyond description. It was a feeling that she had never experienced asleep or otherwise, and when she awakened, she could not stop thinking about that dream. And she could never again think of Jerry in the way that she did before her dream. This dream left a feeling in her that she had not known before. It was so delicious that she tried to dream it again and again, and if she was not able to dream it, then she would just try to remember it. She wanted to recapture the feeling of that dream, and that vibration was the catalyst that brought them together. Esther had been thinking things like, I want to live happily ever after. I want a partner who appreciates me. I want a joyful life experience. As Esther had been thinking those things, even though she was living the lack of much of it, her inner being, hearing her wanting, offered her something visual and sensual, something tangible enough that she could not forget it, and something potent enough that it kept calling her. And as she flowed energy toward it, oh, what a productive segment of time that was. Dreams as sneak previews of your future. Now, if you have things you want, but they're not the things that you have any touchstones about in your own life, for instance, you may want to be well, but you've never been well, or you may want to be prosperous, but you've never been prosperous, or you want a loving mate, but you have never had a loving mate. Talk to your inner being about what you want and why you want it. And let your inner being offer to you, in your dream state, images that you can flow energy toward, which will cause your vibrational state to be as you want it to be. And then the law of attraction will bring it to you. Your dreams are manifestations of your vibrational point of attraction, so you can evaluate your dreams to determine what you're really doing with your vibration. Your dreams are sort of a sneak preview of that which is to come, so if you evaluate the content of your dream, you can often determine what your point of attraction is, and then, if you do not wish to live out the dream you've been dreaming, you can do something about changing it. As a result of what the influence surrounding you has been encouraging you to think, you may be flowing energy toward financial disaster. You may be flowing energy toward a body that will not function well, and so on. As such, your inner being, which is aware that you're projecting sickness into your future, may offer you a dream showing you where you're going. And so you awaken and you say, oh, I don't want that. And then you say, what is it I do want? And why do I want it? And then you start flowing your energy productively toward what you do want, transmuting your energy and thereby changing your future experience.